State Department of Corrections recently announced they're bringing a transformative literacy initiative to state prison visitation rooms.
The goal is to put books into the hands and hearts of children visiting their incarcerated parent. Joining us to continue this conversation this morning is DOC Communications Director Chris Wright and the Director of Marketing for Imagination Library of Washington, Angela French. Chris and Angela, thank you both so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Angela, for people who are unfamiliar with what Imagination Library is, how did this partnership with the Washington Department of Corrections come about?
Well, we were very honored to be part of this partnership. Our partnership with DOC started about a year ago, and our goal at the Imagination Library, the statewide program, is to ensure that every child under the age of 5 has access to these high-quality books in their homes. And so to be part of a partnership uplifting positive parent engagement within prison facilities was something that definitely aligns with our mission and Dolly Parton's mission to get more books into the hands of kids all over the world. So we were very honored to be asked to be part of this partnership and really expand literacy opportunities within the prison facilities.
And Chris, why don't you explain how it works, bringing in those children books to prisons, and what is the mission here?
Well, the mission is part of a larger effort, too, to renovate those visitation rooms in our prisons. This was stemmed actually from a federal grant we got and began work with also our the Hands-On Children's Museum, which is out of Olympia. So they're doing the physical renovations of some of our visiting rooms throughout the state. And the idea, of course, is breaking the cycle here as part of it, of incarceration. Children of incarcerated individuals are about 6 times more likely to end up in prison themselves, unfortunately. It's tough to form a bond with your parent, of course, if they're in prison. So that's tough to change, and this is part of an effort to make those more welcoming spaces. You can imagine I'm relatively new to the department, and going into prison can be a little intimidating for an adult. Imagine being a 5 or 6-year-old going in there to see your parent, and it can be kind of almost a traumatic experience. So renovating those visiting rooms, and this partnership helps create more of a welcome environment, hopefully better foster that bond between parent and child.
Absolutely. Yeah, you mentioned that when children go to visit their incarcerated parents, they're reading together, and then this is also leading to the renovation of some visitation rooms. When do we know when those visitation rooms will be done? Are they already done or just in the process of being completed?
The first one at Stafford Creek, which is out near Aberdeen, actually was finished and debuted last Saturday. I think you had some pics of that ceremony there with parents and kids, and then there are 2 others that are close to completion. Early June, we're going to debut the next one at the Washington Corrections Center for Women in Gig Harbor, and then Clallam Bay is working on theirs as well in the northwest part of the state. And then hopefully, depending on funding, hope to eventually expand it to all 11 prisons in the state.
What's been the reaction, Chris, so far from the parent and the child? What reaction do you know that's happened in these visitation rooms, this new one that you mentioned?
Well, I think they loved it. I think you saw some of the pictures. You can see the smiles on the parents' faces and the kids having a good time. And so far, it's just rave reviews from everyone who's been out there and been able to check it out. And it's just so different from, you don't have any, if you can see what it looked like before, a very drab room. Tables, a few games, maybe some books, but not a lot to do, and like we said, a bit of an intimidating environment. So it's kind of night and day, and what I'm hearing so far, people are loving it.
Yeah, this definitely sounds welcoming, and it sounds like you all are making a difference. I want to touch on this other program connecting children of incarcerated parents to break the cycle involving video games. How does this work?
That's also at Stafford Creek. That's been up for a while, and all this stems from a partnership actually with Norway. We go over there and study a lot of what they're doing, and they have some of the lowest recidivism rates in the world. So that's something that's brought back. I think that ideally all little kids would be, or 5-year-olds would be content to read quietly with their parent, but not ours, so not all ours. So we've got video games as well. Kayaks they can play in, all sorts of games. So if Dolly's books are amazing, but it's not their thing, they can go over with their parents. Many are fairly young and gamers themselves, so they're able to bond doing that as well.
Yeah, you got to have options. Angela, how many books do you have from Dolly Parton's Imagination Library?
Well, I brought 5 of them here with me today, and it's a collection that we're very, very proud of. Every child that is enrolled in the Imagination Library gets these very high quality, very carefully selected books by a Blue Ribbon selection committee that makes these choices every year. So this is just a sample set of what these children receive every month in the mail when they're enrolled.
Amazing.
Love to hear that.
Yeah. Congratulations on your work, and thanks so much for sharing all that info on ARC Seattle today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
The little engine that could is the first one they get. Isn't that neat? I did a story on the Dolly Parton Imagination Library a while ago, and I love to see that. I love to see this partnership. That's great.
Awesome. Yeah, just that bond is so important. And you know, when a parent is incarcerated, they don't get the same bond they would with their child at home. So this is definitely making a difference. I love it. Yeah. Well.